Hello, hello. Looks like we came on early. I don't know, but it's a good thing because we got a lot to do today. How is everyone? I hope you all had a good week. And today we're going to choose joy and have another good week. Good morning, Leanie and Barbara Andrews and Leslie. Welcome, welcome, Leslie. And Kimmer. Rain. Usually if Leanie gets rain, then I get rain in about 45 minutes to an hour. V, hello, Valerie. How are you? I am. I am keeping well, and Elmo's outside right now. He's either working in the garden or he's in the train room. Oh my goodness, look at these lips. You know, I bought a new lipstick, and it's called a lip stain. My lips are about the same color as my hand, and I never look like I have any lips. And I thought, I'm going to buy that lip stain. That way I'll have lips. Boy, do I have lips. I look like Sandra, scandalous Sandra with those big red lips. But you know what? It's the product is awesome. I will get a different color, quite not quite as dark as this, but I will get another one of those because it works so well. I just have to learn how to put it on because there's way too much here. And I think they filled the jar up too much. Sometimes you get, well, let's see if I've got it in here. I got a beautiful bottle of, I think it's in the other room. I got a beautiful bottle of nail polish. And it's kind of my raspberry color that I like so well because I do like the raspberry color. I can wear the reds, but I have to have the blue reds. So, and I have a blue tone to my skin. So, I like the blue reds anyway. And wait, let me go back down here to the bottom so I can read the new ones. Jennifer and Samantha Stewart's here. Hello, Samantha, sweetheart. And Sujana's here. And Janice is here. And there's my Mia. Linda Davison. Thank you for your address, Linda. Jackie Belcher's here. I think that's everybody so far. Okay. Well, anyway, I have to learn the technique to put this on because if you're not really careful, or it has a different foam rubber pad at the end of it. It's called a deer foot, and it's kind of it's a different shape, but it comes out with so much stain on it that it's too much right off the bat. And I bought a nail polish, and it came in this little beautiful little jar. The jar's about this tall, and there's a great big knob on the top of it to screw it on and screw it off. Jennifer, Sunday morning is or Sunday afternoon is about the only time. It's about the only time I put anything on because I don't have a lot of color. my lips, I have no color in my lips. So I do try and put on a little bit, or at least a shine. There are some tinted shines that I really like. But I saw this and I thought I'd try it. And like I said, I love the stain. But I just need to learn how to apply it sparingly. Cindy Hearts, hello, hello. And Susan Burke is here. I'm so thankful you all came in this cottage door this morning. Thank you for coming in. This is Miss C's cottage, and I am Miss C. And this is the home of the Somebunny that I make and give to people so that they know somebody loves them. And we are putting together cats today. Today, I don't know if you read the intro, but we're trying to get it all together today. That ought to be fun. Threw all my makeup in the bin 2 weeks ago because it's so old. Oh yes, that is something. You probably shouldn't use eye makeup, but you should probably change it out. Like I think they say every 3 months, because if you have picked up something and it gets in your makeup and then it sits in a dark drawer and it's moist and who knows, and then you put it on and you can get an eye infection. I have never gotten an eye infection from any of my makeup, but the fact I like the dry brushes better because the way I sleep, my pillow is right here, and so my eyebrows, my eyelashes get all pushed together, and it's really difficult to get down to the lid and pull the lash out separate because they all do this. You need to find the right color for your cat. Oh, there's a bazillion colors. Or pick up any in the brown tones of a variegated. This is my cat. That's my cat. But you could use any of the brown tones. Oh, I can't get the arms don't want to work. Shoulders don't want to work. Let's see. Here's one you could use for a cat. Here's another one you could use for a cat. This is rattan. It's a Red Heart Super Saver Bitty Stripes rattan. You know what? Any of these gold colors would make a nice cat. Newsprint probably would make a nice cat. Black or a dark charcoal. What's this one? This is Millhouse Medium. I don't know where I got this one. It might have come from someone, or it might have been Meridian Millhouse, wherever that is. It's a 4 medium. It's called Black Heather. Made in the U.S. in Gastonia, North Carolina. Meridian Millhouse. Huh. But it's a nice one. That would make a nice kitty. You could even, oh, look at this. I think I'll do one of these next. This is a Premier Basics Marl worsted. It's a 4-weight yarn. in the colorway Rose Quartz Marl. Can you see that? Gray, and there's pinks in there. I think that would be a pretty cat. I'm going to make one of those. I'm going to make a cat out of that. I am. That's my next cat. Then I got a whole drawer here of, well, here's that Bitty Stripes. This is Big Twist Jelly Bean. Here's a Big Twist Menagerie. You could make a cat of a different color. In fact, this one is called, I think it's Parrotfish. Yes, Parrotfish. What a great name for a color for a cat. Make a cat out of Parrotfish Menagerie. What an imagination, Diana. Then there's this one that's kind of got a red tint to it. It's called Argentine. It's kind of got a reddish, rust colored terracotta. I guess what I'm trying to say is it really doesn't matter what color you make it. The cat's not going to care. And it'll be beautiful. Yeah, those were my, those skeins came out of my giraffe drawer. My favorite pea in the whole world. You know what? If you love purple, make a purple cat. It really doesn't matter. KK! Okay, now KK's here. I'm going to show you some new hats. Let me get my phone out because my phone has all the pictures in it. And I can tell you the numbers of the hats. I think I showed you 18. So let me show you the next generation. Oh my. Moving around is a little interesting today. So I'm going to go from 18 because that was a week ago Wednesday. And 18 was this one. With the cross stitches in it. Excuse me. And then there was 19. Which I like this yarn, but I don't like it for hats because I think it looks like a man's hat. And there are a lot of patterns that you cannot use for a man's hat because it's got the green and the brown and it's like a camouflage. But I think that one came out okay. And that one was 19. This one is 20. And this one is the one where you do the single crochet chain. I chained 2. I think she chained 4 single crochet. And then you come back and you do your granny cluster. And I think I did 3. Yeah, I did 3 double crochets in the chain 2 space. Anyway, that's number 20. This one is one of Atreyu's where you turn it inside out every row, or you do a back loop, just green. St. Patrick's Day, March. This one is 22, and I like this one. I was going to make this one for the 17, my 17th hat, but I don't know what happened. But this one is black, and it's got a green stripe with gold in the middle of it. And it's just double crochets all the way down to the bottom. And then I did, I think, a single crochet in the back loop here to end it off. But I like that one. And that's number 22. And this one is a tweed. And this is another of Atreyu's hats where you turn it, you do a single crochet and you turn it inside out to do. So it's in the back loop only of a single crochet, but you turn the hat every round. And then I just did 3 rows of doubles to finish it off. And I think that, no, this one was 24. And Cynthia said 24. This one was 24. So I have another one out of this pattern. So, and this is my last one. And today is 29. So I've got 5 more to do. Ooh, boy, I'm behind. But I'll show you why I'm behind. One, two, three, the banana bird, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I still have wings to put on him yet. Him. And that's my 12 chickens that I had to do for my friend. They're called a tiny chicken, and it's a free pattern. Just go to, I don't know where I got it. Ravelry, maybe? Just type in tiny chicken, and it comes up. They're really cute. They tell you to do it in white, and they tell you to do a... I didn't. I just... what I did, actually, was to zip up Not that one, of course. Not the one I'd pull out to show you as an example. When you decrease the bottom and you get those last 6 stitches, then I put the needle all the way in and all the way up through the top of the head, and I just made a little bit of hair on him. Oops, you can't see it. There. I went up the bottom and pulled it up through the 6 that you start with at the top. And I started just doing yarn eyes because I don't know who these are going to, whether they're going to be for babies. And this is a 2 or 3 weight yarn, and I used a 4 for the eyes. So I think they came out okay. I'm going to leave this one out because I need to put the wings on it. Thank you, Jackie. No, Leanie, but it could be. I mean, we could, if you wanted to do that on our Wednesdays, our Wacky Wednesdays, we could do that. It came out awesome. Thanks. Uh-oh. Puppy break. Pebbles has got a new service dog, and it's just a puppy, and it is the cutest dog. She sent me pictures. It is the cutest dog. Yes, Sujan, that's what the picture looks like on the tiny chicken pattern. Is that white chicken with the red comb, and it's exactly what it looks like. Thank you. All right, today, here is a wing. And the other wing actually should be, yep, it's right here. Oh no, this is the comb. The comb has 3 humps. But this is a wing, and I thought I had the second wing done, but I was running out of time, so I don't know whether I did it or not. I probably did it and won't be able to find it, and that will be okay. That will be okay. I'll just make another one. They're not really hard. It's chain 4. Chain 4, turn, half double crochet in the first or the second chain from the end, a treble crochet in the middle, and then a double and a half double in the last or the first chain that you did. And then you just stitch this right on the side or on this side. I think it just gets stitched right there. And that's his little wing. So cute. So cute. I love them. I like the big chickens. Here's a little chicken. This one's mine. This is made out of sock yarn. And it's wonky. Look where this one is. Nice. But look where this one is. Way back here. I think this one got pecked a lot when it was little, because her comb should be up here on her forehead. I should have switched it around the other way. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. But this is sock yarn, and I think it came out really nice, the coloration. And I didn't mess with it. But this one's mine. Those beady little eyes. I love, love, love it. And then Dory sent me this one. This is my support, my emotional support chicken. But we're not talking about chickens today. We're talking about cats. So let's get right into the cat. Cat. Which reminds me, bat, come under my hat and I'll give you a piece of bacon. I have no clue why that works or whoever brought it up. But first and foremost, I do not want a bat in my hair. And I'm telling you another thing. If I'm taking bacon out of the house, I'm going to eat it. Because one of the things that I love is bacon, 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 and I have opposable thumbs. This was my last chicken that I made. Okay, and this can come out of here, and some of these things have just got to move. I made a chicken out of this. I'm going to make a cat out of this. I am. I made a chicken out of this. A chicken out of this. This was, I don't know where this came from. It was just handy. I'm going to just stick these in the bottom drawer right now to get them out of the way. So I have a spot to show you how to put this together. Oh, my booty. I haven't done anything on the booty. Okay, so here we go. You need a body. You need your head. Head. You need a tail. And you need 4 legs. And if you have those, and 2 ears. If you have those, we're ready to go. Ready to go. Now I need to bring my camera out. You know, through the week I sit here and I work on things, and then when I need space, I just push things over to the side, and then when I have to have the space again, it's like all jumbled up. So I don't know. And I'm not sure how I'm going to use this either, because I'm going to be working in the beginning. I have to hold it with my knees. So you guys put your sunglasses on, because they are white, and I don't want to embarrass any of you. Oh, Len's here. Sorry about that, Len. I should have looked to see. Look away, Len, when I put the feet on the body, because you don't need to see my scabbed up, scratchy, scarred, white, wrinkly knees. Not so naughty's here. And welcome in, Len. Thank you, Len. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, let's just go ahead and flip over to the other camera so that we can put this all together. And you guys know the routine. Settings, camera, dipstick. No, it's depths tech. DEPSTECH, Depths Tech webcam. I'm just going to call it dipstick because that's what it is. Oh, and there's that old arm. Look at that old arm. Oh, my word. I do not like that. Okay. Jen, you're just in time. We're getting ready to put this thing together. So I'm going to take the body. First, I think I'm going to move this up because why is this? Okay, we've got the body, and you can tell the back from the front. The front's got this little poochy belly here. See how this belly comes out? And then the back is pretty much flat. I don't like that. We don't have enough light here. What is it with this today? Let's see if we can turn a light on over here and make a difference. Okay, I don't know if that makes a difference or not, but we're going to leave it on just in case. Okay, first of all, we need the body and the head. And those are the two pieces that we're going to put on first. And this is why I tell you, don't close it up to 6, because if you close this up too much, you're going to get a wobbly head. It's not going to work well. Now I'm going to pull my row marker out. My row markers. Because I do not need them anymore. What's with this? I caught one in midstream. That's what that was. Okay. And I can still tell by the shape of this belly that this is the front. So I'm going to thread my needle that I just covered up when I cleared my space. Nope, don't like that one. You know, I've tried to use those bent, the ones that have the bend in them, because I thought, well, that you can get in there and get out, but I do not like them. For some reason, I just do not like them. All right, got my needle. I got the front of my, there you can see that really, that's the belly. And the cat's head. And I'm going to put the cat's head on with the belly in the front and try and make sure that the eyes are centered where I want them. And I'm going to go in and pick up a couple stitches. Pick up a stitch on the neck. Go in and pick up a couple stitches. A stitch on the neck. A couple stitches. A stitch on the neck. And now I'm about halfway through. And I'm going to check and make sure that my head isn't wonky. I want to make sure that my belly still lines up with my nose. and that I'm still okay. I'm going to pick up another stitch and pick up a couple stitches on the neck and a stitch on the body and a stitch on the head and a stitch on the neck. And I'm going to twist my yarn because I don't like it when it comes undone like that. Pick up a stitch on the head. And now I'm going to make sure that I'm still lined up. And it looks good. I'm not real wonky here. So I'm going to pick up a stitch on the neck, a couple stitches on the head, a stitch on the body, a couple stitches on the head, a stitch on the body, and I'm back to the beginning. And there is my head attached to the body. And I'm going to go around it a second time just to make sure, because you know how kids are when you give them a toy to play with. First thing they do is grab an ear or the head or something, and then what do you have? They tend to come apart if you don't reinforce them, is the word I'm looking for. All right, now I am going to put this in the back and bring it out somewhere down here. And it's going through all that fiber and yarn, not tying a knot. I'm just clip off the extra and put it in the bird pile, because Elmo likes to put out my yarn ends. Now we're still lined up here. Now see how it went crooked? Here's my front and there's the head. It went a little crooked. But you know what? Only you and I know it. The kid who's getting it doesn't know it. And it really doesn't matter anyway, because by the time it gets loved the way it's going to get loved, it won't matter. It won't matter at all. Okay, now here comes the part where we're going to put the legs on. And if you remember, I put 2 paws with stitches in them. So I'm going to take out this, my row marker for this one. And I don't think I have a row marker in this one. So I'm going to use these 2 for my front feet. Okay. Now here's where I need to pull my skirt up a bit. So, and you're going to position your bunny or your cat with a nose down and his bottom between your knees. Make sure its head is centered. Otherwise your legs go on crooked. Okay? then we're going to thread your needle. And I'm going to, you can see this part right here, the center. Well, maybe I need to lower this now, right? There, that's better for right now. Okay, you can see this better. This is his bum, and we're going to go right below the bum. And you can see where this line of crochet stitches comes out, where you've increased and increased and increased. So I'm going to put this under the bum along this excuse me, along this increased line. And I'm just going to go in the body and in the leg and do a whip stitch. And I'm just using that increased line in the body as a guide. And then I'm going to go in this last stitch, which is just under the bum. And then I like to come over here in the center of the cat and pick one up sideways. And that secures the whole leg. And then I'm going to come back up and go right back in where I came out and double stitch all that, because the other things that kids like to grab are legs. And if you're not reinforcing those leg seams, they're going to grab the cat and come away with a leg. And when I get over here to the end, I like to do the same thing. Just come over and pick up one on the body and come through the stitch on the leg and reinforce that. And that way I am sure that it's not coming off. And then what I do is, this is kind of hard to see, isn't it? Is I go through that last row of single crochets and pick up the stitches to the center and pull my tail through, and then I go to that where the next row of stitches is, and I go through that and then flip it so that I make sure that my needle is in between this part and this part. So it's in between that, and pull it to the outside, and then I clip off the excess. That way my tail is hidden here and here, and we're done with the first leg. And we're going to do the second leg the same way. Let me thread this needle. Make sure I've got my cat paws to the front, which I have. And I like to have, I don't know why, but I like to have this on the outside. And so I'm going to line it up right where his bum is, where I put the last stitch. I'm going to line it up the same way and follow that increased line out. Now I like to look and make sure, and you can see that it's not quite far enough. So I'm going to go up a bit to make sure that my head is between the legs. See what I'm saying? Otherwise, you wind up with a leg over here and it's coming right up his nose. So you have to kind of play with it to make sure that where his nose is equal distance to both legs. That looks about right to me. Whoops. There. Okay. Beneath the bum and on that increase line, we're going to pick up stitches on the body and the leg. This is the same way you do the bunny with the bunny legs. We're over here to the close to the bum, so I'm going to go right at the bottom of the bum and pick up that stitch, and then I'm going to come underneath and pick up on the side so that I am securing that leg on the inside. And I'm going to do it one more time, and then I'm going to go back and reinforce that leg. Just to make sure that it doesn't get pulled off. These things may last forever. You know, they may be an heirloom. You don't know what the recipient is going to do with it. Worst case scenario, they may say thank you to your face and then throw it in the trash when you leave. You just don't know. All right, now I'm going to go in that first row of single crochets and pick up the stitches. Then I'm going to go through the next row of single crochets back to this, make sure it's all encased. And then I'm going to clip that off. And we're done with the paws. Now there is your cat and the cat paws on his little feetsies. All right, the next thing I do is the arms. And I pretty much do them the same way. When I find the needle, what did I do with the needle? You got to be kidding me. Oh, it's over on this side. Find the needle. And I think I can move this back up. Oops. So, was this the one? Yeah. Okay, we move this back down. All these newfangled things. There again, I'm going to put this to the back. So I need to find my bunny or my cat front and the poochie belly and line. This has got to go way up, guys. Okay. The belly and the head and the arm, and you got to match up the arm with the leg. Okay? You don't want your leg to be out here in front or back here behind. So you kind of put it right above where your leg went. And I like to put mine a couple rows down. I'm going to turn him so that I can hang on to it. And pick up a stitch on the edge. And then just follow the round. And pick up a stitch. And go in and pick up a stitch. Go in and pick up a stitch. Go in, pick up a stitch. In, pick up a stitch. And then I'm going to come to the front like I did before and secure that stitch. And then I can go back in and reinforce till I get to the back. Then I'm going to do the same thing I did with the others. I'm going to go through the first row of stitches. I'm come back through the second row of stitches on the arm, making sure I'm in the middle. And that's one arm. We're going to put the other arm on the same way. Tina! Tina, you snuck in whilst I wasn't looking. Some of you have changed your names, and V changed her name, but she did write in Valerie, so I know who it was. Now I'm going to line up the legs with the arms and the head and make sure that my cat is even all around. And I'm going to do the same thing. Pick up a stitch on the edge, one on the body, one on the arm, one on the body, one on the arm, all the way across. I'm going to come out here on the body, turn it around, and pick up that last stitch on the arm and reinforce that. And then I can come back across and reinforce the top of the arm. Because kids will grab an arm or a leg or a tail. And now I'm over here. I'm going to go into the body and in that last stitch and reinforce that stitch. And then I'm going to go in that first row of stitches all the way across. So you can see that shiny in there. That tells me that it's inside. And then I'm going to come back on the next row to the back of my cat. And that's done. So there is a cat. Now the next thing we're going to do is the ears. And one of the things that I have done is gone from one side to the other side with my my needle. And you can put it tight if you want to. I did not. I looks like I left something here. So now I'm going to position the head and see where my ear is going to fit the best. I think for my cat, I want it right over the eye. So I'm going to hold it there, right over the eye. Mine is like 3 or 4 rows up, and I'm going to put a stitch in there. And I'm going to put 1 stitch over the length that I put between the 2 sides. And then I'm going to come up here and secure this side of the ear. Sorry, you didn't get to see that, did you? I put a stitch in here. I came up, I went over the loop, and I came out on this side of the ear. And now what I'm going to do is come to the outside. I'm going to pinch that ear. And I'm going to grab the stitches of the ear and sew to the center stitch. And then turn, and I'll stitch back to the front. And then I'm going to reinforce this. And there is my cat ear. It's not like this, which might be a bunny ear, but it's a cat ear. And if you want, when you're finished stitching, you can take your needle up through the center and cut it off like I did on top of the little chicken head. So you've got these fuzzies right here in the middle of the ear. I think that would be cute. All right, I'm going to go back and stitch this ear, reinforce it. And I am going to come right up in the middle here. And I'm going to cut off some. And then I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to brush it so that you can see those little fuzzies in there. Now we're going to put on the other ear. And I think what I did was bring this over here. Oh, about a finger's width. and secure it. I'm going to find the eye and make sure that this one is as far back on the head as the other one, and that it is the same. So your cat's not wonky. I'm going to pinch it and hold it in the back. And I'm going to make sure I get the same. And I'm going to come up in the middle here and grab that separator so that it's okay, and then come down and I'm going to pick up the other side of the ear. Now I'm going to pinch this and hold it so that I can go ahead and get to the side of the ear and go back and pick up on the body and the ear and the body and the ear and the body and the center of the ear. Now see, this one's a little bit lower. So when I come back up the other side, I need to make sure that it's more even. So I'm going to hold my thumb in here to tell me that my stitches need to be more to the center of the cat's head. And you can pull that right over because this side's not secured yet. All right, let's check it again. See how far down it is? I may have to take this ear off. Either that or leave it a wonky ear. Okay, here's something to look at. Here's my nose, and there's a stripe right up the center of the cat's head. See that? And can you see that this ear starts one finger off of the center? And can you see that this one does not? So I think I'm going to have to take this ear off. This might not be as easy as it looks. Then again, God is good. God is so good. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. This is difficult to see with this variegated. It is very difficult to see. All right. Let's try this again. It's a good thing we've got some extra time today, huh? Gloria and Rosie came in. Well, hello, whilst I was working on an ear. And Kitty's here? And who else snuck in whilst I wasn't looking? Ellie's here. Hello, Ellie. I always like to see her come in. She makes the nicest stitch markers. If you haven't gotten a stitch marker, you need to go over there and take a look. All right, let's try this again. And now we've got a guide to go by because here's his nose. And we're going to go right up with this row of stitches and start the ear one finger over and in this so we're going to start our ear right here and make sure it goes over the eye along this same line. We're going to go over this one. I'll hold it in place and pick up a stitch over here. Now I'm going to check it before oh, that looks better, huh? More even? Yeah. So let's pinch it so that it goes back like it's supposed to, and then we're going to rethread our needle again. Pick up stitches on the head and stitches on the ear. Stitches on the head and the middle of the ear. And then we're going to come back the other side because we know we need to be there. So we'll follow this row of stitches and pick up one on the ear. This row of stitches and one on the ear. And this row of stitches and back to the ear. There, now we've got some decent ears. So I'm going to reinforce this. And come back and reinforce that ear all the way back from the head to the ear, from the head through the ear, from the head through the ear. And we're going to get here to the edge. And I'm going to go through the ear and through the head and the ear and reinforce that. And then I'm going to come up in the middle of the ear and clip off some excess and brush it out. So you've got some fuzzies here in that ear. And you've got some fuzzies over here in this ear. Now, guys and dolls, all we have left to do for our cat is turn him over, bring his arms down, find the middle of the cat, right above the bum, and we're going to stitch on his tail. And this is going to be maybe frustrating for some of you. I don't know. It depends on if you want your cat tail to go up or over to the side. And remember, we put this in it, so we can move it anywhere we want to. I'm going to come up from the bum. See that little? This is where we closed off the last 6. No, this is where we started out the first 6 stitches. This is the first 6 stitches of our cat. And we're going to come up this row of stitches to about the middle of the cat's backside. And we're going to pick up a stitch and pick up a stitch. And pick up a stitch and pick up a stitch. Pick up a stitch on the body and a stitch on the tail. Now remember we had, was it 6 stitches? So here's a stitch on the body and a stitch on the tail. A stitch on the body and a stitch on the tail. A stitch on the body and a stitch on the tail. And I think we're back to the beginning. A stitch on the body and a stitch on the tail. And I'm going to go around it a second time because my tail is heavy. And I want this tail to stay on. And I'm not going to go through the same one. I'm going to go through a different one so that I've got double strength. And I like to twist my needle so that my thread gets nice and shapely, tight. And I think we're back at the beginning. And I'm going to take my needle down and out the bottom and clip off my threads. And that is our cat. All right, going back to settings, going back to camera, going back to integrated camera, and back to me. Now I'm going to move this back over here where it belongs and show you my tabby. There is my tabby cat. And his tail. I don't know why this is. I think my camera's off. See how that neck is a little wobbly? I might go back in there and reinforce that neck edge, because it's not going to matter if you pull it down a bit. You've got several rows here that you can work with. So here is my cat. I hope you've enjoyed this. Barbara, look what we just finished. And there's Carrie with an A. And Zach Man's here. Boy, a couple of you snuck in while I was working on a cattail. But I love this because you can bend it whatever way you want. If he's having a bad day, now if you want, here's something that you can do. I think I have a piece of black here that wasn't really long enough to do a whole lot with. Well, here's a couple of I think I'll try this. I think I'm going to try this. I'm going to double up my yarn on my needle. I'm going to go in on the side of my cat's nose, about here. There's the nose. So I'm going to go in about there and come right out under one stitch. And then I'm going to double sew that. So I'm going to loop it around. And I'll show you what I've done because I can't show you. Okay, I went in and in again. And I'm going to go in again and come out on this side above the nose, and about where I went in here, I'm going to come out here. I'm going to thread my needle again. Now, before I finish this side off, I can see that I've got a whole lot more yarn over here to deal with than I did over on this side. So I'm going to go back and pull some of this back through. And then I'm going to do the same thing I did here. I'm going to go in and out. Thread my needle again. I'm going to go in and out again. And I'm going to clip it off. And I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to brush these out. So my kitty has whiskers. Yeah. This is actually where I closed off, Carrie. This is where I closed off the front of the face. That's the last 6 stitches, but I just go around it twice so that it sticks out a little bit because this is a Somebunny and he has a nose and he has eyes and he has big ears, but he doesn't have a mouth. So I may have to clip this off a bit. Okay, there's Whiskers. What do you think, guys? This is a somebody because it's not a bunny, but it's a somebody. It's made with love, packed full of God's love, and will be given to someone so that they will know that somebody loves them. I don't know. I think he's kind of special, if you ask me. Next one. Next one is going to be this rose quartz one. I can't wait to make a cat out of this. 4-weight worsted Premier Basic Marl. Premier makes really, really nice yarn. Next to Joann's yarn, it's the nicest. When they say 4-weight, it is a 4-weight. It's not a thin 4. It's not a roving where it's big in some places, little in another. It's a real 4, and I appreciate that about them. So I'm making one of these. I'm making a cat out of that. All right. Does anybody have any questions about our kitty? Oh, Sally. Sally says that cat is perfect. And Mia says that she or he is perfect. I just thought I'd do a calico or tabby or whatever you want to call them. And I use this same yarn to do his whiskers. And he's got gray and black ones on this side and brown and gray ones on this side, just like a regular cat might. Or you can just take a piece of black. I had a piece of black here. And now, of course, that I needed it, I could not find it. And it was just about the right length. And I put it in and in again and left a whisker length. Put it in across, brought it out and in again and left a whisker length so that they're locked in there. Next month's, I'm not sure. We were 50-50 dog, and there was next month is April. So you tell me what you would like to do. You tell me what you would like to make next month. Would you like to make a tiny chicken? Because I'll show you how to make a tiny chicken if and you want. I do too. I do too. I think that curler in the tail just makes it. It just makes the cat. You want to make an Easter bunny? The ear instructions for the, yes, Mia. Oh, Sandra, I'm so glad you're here today. I went to the Dollar Tree and they had these new lipsticks, and I needed a new lipstick. And so this one said lip stain. And I thought, you know what? Lipsticks don't stay on me. And I have no color in my lips. My lips are as white as my skin is. And I saw this lip stain. And I thought, I'm going to try that. And so I got some. And look, I have Sandra lips. I need to learn how to control it because it's like, oh, I love it. Take the whiskers and put what? Wait, come back. Might take my whiskers and put a bit of glue on them and twist them a bit. You know what? You can also use the silky thread that you use for embroidery stitching, not hand embroidery, although that would work too. That would work really well also. The metallic embroidery floss, but there is some embroidery thread that you use in your machines to do embroidery, and it's metallic. That works very well. That you do individually. You knot it, you pull it through, knot it, pull it through the other side and knot it. And then you can do several different places around the cat's mouth. You guys want to do one of these guys? We can do one of these guys. This is sock yarn. This is number 2. I think this is Malabrigo. This is a sock yarn. A 3-weight yarn or sock yarn works well. This is a 3-weight yarn. This one's a Malabrigo. So I think they're 2s, aren't they? This is a baby something. It's a 3-weight yarn. It's a Sweet Delight, Baby Bee, Sweet Delight. That's what this one is. And that's a 3-weight. So, those come out really cute, that size. That's a nice size. This is a sock yarn, which is a 3. I think this one is a 3. This one is a 2. But it really doesn't matter because they're so stinking cute anyway. But I finally got all 12 of them done except this one. I still need wings. Maybe I'll just have a Red Bull. Red Bull gives you wings. No. Okay. Okay. We have let's do a little chicken, and we'll do a Somebunny. We'll do an Easter bunny. Because you know me, that's my mission in life. Is it's making bunnies and giving them to people. If I can get a head start on bunnies, I haven't done bunnies in so It was mine. We lost the Wi-Fi. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Poof. I'm gone. Maybe she'll come back. She always comes back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, wouldn't it be fun? My mission from God, just like the Blues Brothers, is to make some bunnies and give them to people who need to know that somebody loves them. So if I did an Easter Somebunny, let's see, an Easter Somebunny. It's got to be a variegated. There's got to be Easter colors. And I'll let you guys pick. Let's see what we have here. Oh, maybe one of these. Oh, this is really, really yellow. Whoa, there's two yellow ones. Wow. Okay. Okay, what about this? Okay, what about this one? Hoo-hoo! Oh boy. Oh boy. Or we could make a beanie one. I don't know if I want to work with one that small. Sorry, Charlie. Oh, now here's a thought. Okay, guys, I think I have some choices for you to choose. Oh, there's another one. What about this? This is a flapper girl. This is I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby. And it's got all the Easter colors in it. That would make a nice bunny. Then there's this one, which is a Granny Square all-in-one. And it's called Soft White Buttercup Blush. That might make a funny looking bunny, a funny bunny. Then there's this one. I've used part of it. It's the Red Hearts Flower Power, mostly yellow, a little bit of pink in it. That might be interesting to see how that rabbit comes out. Then I have these from Premier. This is the basic mosaic. I love this color. I use this a lot when I do the luck of the draw. I use this for my main color. And then for my other 5 colors, I pull those colors out. This is called Cuddle. And it is a Premier Basic number 4. And then last, but not least, the brown rabbit. But look at this rabbit. This would be a brown rabbit, but look at all of the colors that are in there. Blue and peach and yellow and pink. What do you think, guys? This is probably a number 3. It would make a little smaller bunny, but wouldn't make any difference. We could make a bunny and a chicken next month. Sunshine Bunny. All of them. That's what I was waiting for. Nothing. Okay. Yeah, this is kind of cool, huh? Zachman. Leanie likes the cuddle, which is really pretty. I may have to do a couple of them, huh? Sandra is behaving today. Linda says the brown one she likes. Okay, well, then I guess it will be a surprise to you to see which color I choose for my Easter bunny. Are you guys going to make an Easter bunny with me? Now, if you made the cat, you already know how to make the body and the legs. So I'm going to count on you to make the body and the legs. If you don't have the pattern for the bunny, send a message to misscottage@gmail.com. I will send you a bunny pattern. If you can Gmail me, I can attach it and send it back to you right away for you to download and print. If you don't have a printer, or if you use your phone and you can't download and print off of that, send me your address to misscottage@gmail.com and I will send you a hard copy. I will do that. But I will count on you to do the body and the legs, all four legs of the bunny yourself. That gives me a chance to do the head, the ears, and the chickens. If we're going to make an Easter bunny, don't you think, Jackie, it should be spring colors? Now, the only unspring color I'm going to use is I might use this brown, but it's got all the other colors in it. It's Tweety, a Tweety bunny. I have a printer and it just doesn't work. Well, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. Ginny has a printer, and for a long time it didn't count, but she's got a new printer now, so she has the ability to download and print. And because it's a new thing for her, she's not really sure how to do it, but she'll get it. I use Knit Companion on my iPad to read the patterns. Oh, okay. Do they, Sandra, do they have crochet patterns also, or is it just knit? I'm going to have to look that one up. Right in the middle of my forehead. I'll move over here, Zach. How's that? Oh my, these lips look so bad today. You know what, Sally? I have a printer. It's an Epson printer, and they have what they call an ink subscription, and I think it's like $5 a month, something like that, and it comes right out of your. I mean, you can set it up to come right out of your bank pay, your bill pay, and it monitors your ink level in your printer. And when you get low, it sends you color and black and white and the black, so that if your printer says you're low on color, you can put the new color one in, and then later on it'll say now you're getting low on black. You bought your black cartridge there also to put in. And so I figured $5 a month, that's $60 a year. I find it difficult to find a black cartridge for $60 to replace, let alone a color cartridge. So for me, it's cheaper to do the $5 a month thing through Epson than it is to try to go to Walmart and find if they've got it on the shelf, and they usually sell the black or the color. And if they sell them together, it's over $60. So it's just cheaper for me. Yeah, the toner. Yeah. Mr. Elmo has a laser printer in the office. I think it was such a good idea that several Dell, maybe Canon, I don't know about IBM, Epson. They all have. I think they've all most of them have gone with the ink subscription. Yeah, I've been here at the home for 16 years, and Mr. Elmo has had the same printer for 16 years. You're right, Dee. You're right, Dee. Okay, so I've already showed you everything that I've been working on. We picked out some Easter colors for bunnies. And we've established that we're going to do chickens and bunnies next month. So that's good. Chickens and bunnies. And if you will if you're doing an Easter bunny for next month, if you will have the body and the feet done, we'll have enough time monthly to get the bunny done and put together. It goes together just like the cat did. Attach the head, you attach the feet and the arms and the ears last, and the tail. HP is good too. I like the HP. I had an HP for a long time. I loved it. Carry, shake them and put them back in. It always clings to the side. You can shake it and get another week out of it. Okay, so we've got a head start on April. I just need to get these all put away. I think a yellow bunny would be pretty. I don't know how that would turn out. Now, my sister-in-law made I think she used the all-in-one granny square, and she made a baby blanket, a granny square blanket out of it. And you know that yarn is set up to be the flower in the middle and then a couple shades of yellow around, and you have to be the right tension, the right mood, the right hook. Um, and it's, to me, is more frustrating than I want to put into a granny square. I'd just rather start something and go with it, and what it is, rather than, because they're never going to come out like that unless you really, really work at it. And when I crochet, I don't want to work at it. I crochet for pleasure. I crochet for comfort. I crochet for calmness. And it's too much. Sandra, it's your birthday month? Awesome sauce. Yeah, it's therapy. It's just calming. I don't know whether, with like knitting, you've got the clicking of the needles and the rhythm of the stitch. But with crochet, you don't have that clicking, but you've got your rocking chair if you're in a rocking chair, but you've definitely got the rhythm of the stitch. Whether it's a double crochet, or if it's a singles crochet, or if it's whatever, there's a calmness to it, and it winds up being therapy. Absolute stress release. You're right. Now, today, if I'm not wrong, Palm Sunday, isn't it? Yeah, today is Palm Sunday. So that means next Sunday, the 5th, is Easter Sunday. So you can make these and give them, because you're not going to see everybody on Easter. I don't think you're going to see your whole family on Easter. I like this one too. This just screams Easter to me. Oh, it'll be exciting to see what happens. All right. I will be here on Easter. I will be here on Easter. I have no plans to go anywhere. Thursday, we went down to Clearwater. We had the military service for my son who passed. Lovely, lovely service. I'm telling you, when that serviceman played taps on the bugle, it was haunting. It was haunting. It was beautiful. Anyway, all went well with that, and I will be here on Sunday for Easter. We're running out of days. I only have 24 hats done. Today's the 29th. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hats to do in the next 2 days, because I have challenged myself to make a hat a day for KK. She doesn't care whether I do a hat a day. Nobody cares whether I do a hat a day except me. And it's my personal challenge. And he did. When he came back from Kuwait, he was never the same. Not can't say most. A lot of the servicemen who come back, um, no matter how strong they are going over, they come back changed. And Tommy came back very changed. And all I will say is he is in a better place. It was quite a ceremony to actually a process to see. They put him in what is called a columbarium, and it is a row of boxes, and there's columns coming out with rows of boxes in them, and each of the boxes just fits cremated remains. And they put a plaque on the outside and screw it in for permanence, and you can have put on there whatever you would like to have put on there. His name, his rank, his date of birth and date of death, and then whatever else you want to put on there, personally put on there, you can. And they take the box, they put it in, and you can walk up like you can on a casket and say your goodbyes. And once everyone said whatever they want to say, they put the plate on and screw the plate in for permanence. And it was very nice, very nice. Took us a while to get home because we went around the big block the long way, but we made it. Okay, so that's next week and that's next month, and oh, look at here, a bunny. No, I had forgotten I had this. All I need is ears. All you need is ears. La da 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 da. All you need is ears. Da 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 da. All you need is ears. Ears. All you need is ears. Okay, well, I can put that one together. Snip, snap, quickety quick. Oh, and we were talking about this, and I've been playing with my thistles. I think I like this lighter green in there, but I think I like it better as a single crochet rather than a half double. I do not like the half double. I think the single crochet would make a more uniform separation row. I don't know, but I'm going to continue with this because it's going to be a blanket, a baby blanket, of course. But that's what I have right now. Those thistles sticking out. I just think they're beautiful. But I'm Scottish, and Manu Forte is the clan slogan, and we have thistles in our hats. So I love thistles. Okay, it's quarter till. It is time to talk to you about prayers, and we are. Michael is walking. He is talking. He's doing much better. He's even. I think I believe I heard her say that he had gone out in public. So he must be feeling better and able to talk better. Linda, I think that was Linda Davison. Thistlethorn. Oh, Mia, I love it. That cat must be a pain. Okay. This whole time of year is special to me Because if it wasn't for this time of year, nothing would make sense. Okay? Um, because without the death and burial and resurrection of the Lord, we would have no hope. The God of the Old Testament is a judgmental God. He said, "This is the way that I want you to live." And there were times in the Old Testament where when they didn't live that way, he did away with them. And that might sound really harsh, but if you think about it, the Moses and the Jewish people who came out of Egypt were God's chosen people. Those are the people that God chose to live his lifestyle, represent him, to be a reflection of who he is. And as long as they were doing that, everything was fine. But when they went back into their humanness and they said, "Manna, manna, manna, all we get. We don't even have to ask what's for supper. All you just ask when you come home from work is, did you bake it? Did you broil it? Did you fry it? It's always going to be manna. Why can't we have some meat? I want some meat." And God said, "Dear ones, people that I love so much, I have given you everything. I've given you direction. I've given you freedom. I give you your nutrition for every day and just enough. Because you know if you gather too much, it's going to rot and stink like crazy. So I am training you to live a godly life." And they're like, "We want meat." So God said, "You want meat? Okay, I'll give you meat." And he had a herd. Well, I don't think they call that a herd, a flock. They had God caused a flock of quail to come in. I mean, the quail piled up halfway up the tents. That was a lot of quail. You can't eat that much quail. So guess what happened? Let's just leave it at it was a fiasco, not a pleasant one. Anyway, he gave them everything that they needed to be holy. He taught them how to be holy. He talked with them. He led them by daylight. He led them by a cloud to the promised land where he said, "This is going to be yours and everything in it is yours." It was like going back to Eden in a way. And at nighttime, he stayed with them in a pillar of fire so that they would know that they were his chosen people and he was their God. He was their father. He was their protector. But being human, they complained and they wound up wandering in the desert for 40 years that they didn't need to because they weren't that far away from the promised land. And, in the end, and some of them who complained never made it to the promised land because they didn't follow the rules from a judicious God. Somewhere in that journey, he said, "Okay, you're not listening to me. You're not following what I am trying to teach you. You're not learning. Moses, come on up here." Thank you, Barbara. "And I'm going to give you something for the visual learners in your group so that if they forget, they've got something to go back to and read." So he takes Moses up on the mountain and he gives him, well, Elmo likes to say 15 tablets. 15 tablets. I mean, 3 tablets. He gives them 3 tablets. 5 commandments written on each tablet. And then somewhere down the mountain, Moses' sandal slips and one of the tablets breaks. So Moses comes down and says, I got 10 commandments. Ten Commandments, 2 tablets, written down here so that if you forget, you can look at them. Joy Reynolds, hello, hello. And that's for the visual learners. You know what? By the time he got down the mountain with the 2 tablets, they had taken everybody's jewelry and molded it down and made a golden calf, and they went back to the old ways. And God said, whoa, wait a minute. You're my chosen people. You are the ones that I took out of Egypt from slavery, and I made you my chosen people. I've showed you how I wanted you to live. I've told you how I wanted you to live. Now I'm writing down 10 commandments for you to live by so that if you forget, you can come back and read them again. And one guy said, thou shalt love thy brother as thyself. Who's my brother? Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, or well, who's my neighbor? If his tent's next to me, but there's a tent across there, can I covet his wife? Because he's not really my neighbor. And the minute God put the rules down, people started finding ways to get around them. So finally, God, in his love for us as his dear chosen ones, sent his son Jesus, who is part God, part human, has the same human needs and wants and biases as we do, but is part God and knows what the end is. And that's stronger than the human part in him because he was tested. He sent Jesus down to show us how God wants us to live. And if you read about the life of Jesus, everything he does is based on love. And it even says, God so loved the world that he sent his only son, that whosoever should believeth in him will have eternal life. Jesus lived the life God wanted him to. And while other Jews were bringing in sheep and lambs and birds and grain for the priest to put on the altar to sacrifice for wipe away our sins, the blood of the animal would take away the sin of the person who brought the animal. Jesus himself became our sacrificial lamb, and his blood was shed to wash away my sins. And God went through the whole thing. This is it. And so Palm Sunday is the day that he went into Jerusalem, and people recognized his deity, the God part of him, and they put palm fronds down, which was like, you are so important a man that you don't have to have your donkey walk on the dirt. We're putting these palm fronds down for you. And a week later, they put him up on a cross. And he died. And they put him in a tomb. And when they woke up the following Sunday, the tomb was rolled away and he wasn't in it. And after that, he rose from the dead and rose back up into heaven to be sanctified. And he lives there with God. So if none of this happened, if none of this is real, then I'm living a lie. But that's why this season is special to me. Because without these things happening, there is no hope for my death, burial, and resurrection, and no hope of me going to heaven to be with God forever and ever. Because to God is the glory and the power forever and ever. And when I die, I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. So without this Easter season, the whole thing is meaningless. So I hope that you will take a minute and read the Easter story. And it's just as good out of a child's Bible if it helps you understand it better. It doesn't matter. It's the love that counts. Look for the love because God is love. And he loved us so much that he's done blessing after blessing after blessing. If you don't see it, ask God to open your eyes. Ask God to open your ears to his love for you. Okay, my time is up. My time is up. I love you. I will be praying for each and every one of you, and I will see you Wednesday for Wacky Wednesday. And what are we doing Wacky Wednesday? Oh, Wacky Wednesday is going to be what is today? 29? Oh my goodness. Wacky Wednesday starts a new stitch. So you still have time to get your cat put together and posted with Leanie, and anything that you've done with any of the types of double crochets that we've been using, including a thistle. And I will see you on Wednesday. I love you all. Goodbye.